So when you look at the roles associated with our job, typically ISO 9001 will offer you two kinds of jobs. One is that you are looking at becoming a full-time auditor associated with some certification body. Here, you are only looking at conducting audits. So, for example, TUV or some certification body will use your expertise in conducting external audits. Those could be certification audits, surveillance audits, and recertification audits. The other that you become part of some organization. One job that you will have if you, let's say you work with HCL in the ISO 9000 world, you will be required to conduct internal audits. You will be required to maintain the ISO 9001 documentation. And in some places, creation of additional process documents will also be part of your job. You will also need to liaison with other departments, and liaison with external certification agency for the audit purposes. Okay, everyone? Let's first talk about the internal audit kind of a job. Both for the internal auditor's job and the external auditor job, you will need to manage the ISO. You will need to understand the ISO 9001 standard well, mostly from a audit perspective. With me, everyone, so far? Which means that you will need a ready ISO 9001 checklist, and dependent on scope of the organization, whatever the organization does, you will need to manage the clause 8 auditing from that standpoint. People, are you with me so far?
Yes, sir.
I'm essentially saying that, let's say, Satish, you are now the internal auditor for a software development company. Rahul, you are currently auditing a firm which is into drone services. Stalin is working for a manufacturing organization. So while the clause number 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, 4.4 are very, very generic, almost everything is similar, clause number 8 becomes very, very dependent on what the organization does. So if you realize, let's take an example. Let's say we are currently auditing a XYZ technology firm, which is into software development only. If you realize, if you look at the entire organizational landscape, any organization, every organization will need to have some sales related processes. And to enable the sales related processes, there would be some pre-sales related processes. For example, at AIG, there is a lot of digital presence management that we do. बहुत सारे ads post होते हैं. There's a lot of Facebook that comes to play, a lot of Google ads that comes to play. There is search engine optimization. So here, this is mostly around SEO, SMO, meta marketing, Google ads. Some organizations focus a lot on repeat business. There could be various modes in which you are looking at generating leads. We are essentially looking at outcome that then the leads will be handled during the sales processes. Whatever has been converted will be managed through the sales administration processes. People, are you guys with me so far?
Yes, sir.
Now that you've sold, you will have some scheduling, planning kind of a process. For example, I'm saying you are a manufacturing firm, you have received customer requirements. Order mil gaya. Up to be able to deliver, there would be some amount of planning that is involved, जिसके basis पे we will then plan our delivery process. और ये हर organization में एक जैसा होगा. Deliver किया, deliver करने में we are saying you collect. You are essentially collecting requirement in the sales process. हमने उसका कुछ schema बनाया, then we deliver. Let's say let's call it create. In a software development kind of a scenario, we will call it coding. Then we test. Then we associate our customer to do the testing. We call it user acceptance testing. Everything okay, we release or dispatch like what happens in a manufacturing organization. Everyone with me? तो ISO 9001 में ये पूरा लाइफ साइकिल आपको ऑडिट करना पड़ेगा. ISO 9001 का फोकस क्या है? कस्टमर की रिक्वायरमेंट से लेके कस्टमर को डिलीवर करने तक का प्रोसेस इज आवर प्राइमरी फोकस. क्योंकि हम overall quality management system is our purview, especially if you look at clause number 4.4. We are talking about the other interactions also. So the entire organizations comes to play. But broadly, this which is happening in your sales process, and this, which is the last step of the process in which we are dispatching or releasing, traceability between them is the most important element of ISO 9001. Rahul, I am essentially saying, तुमने promise क्या किया था? And finally, what did you deliver? The traceability between what you promised versus what you delivered is what ISO 9001 focuses on, apart from the other things. The most important thing that we will have to look at is to understand what did you commit. And mostly, Stalin, this commitment is in the form of some contract document, correct? If you are a manufacturing company, if you are a technology company, if you are a drone manufacturing company, if you are a drone services company. Currently, one of my customers, a firm here called Garuda UAV, they are into drone service providing for NHAI and other government bodies. So Stalin, they get a contract from NHAI to say, this is what you have to deliver. So when Stalin goes as the auditor, he has to look at that document, look at the final product and say, did you deliver what you promised to the customer? And that is where, as an auditor, you are saying, how do you ensure that every time you will be able to do this? So I'm looking at your process around collection of requirement. I'm looking at you to decide how did you design, how did you do it, how did you test whether you've done the right things, how did you hand over. Everyone with me? So the entire primary focus, I'm not saying the only focus, primary focus of ISO 9001 is about that traceability between requirement to delivery. And then there are a lot of associated QMS processes. We are saying, as part of our clause number 4.1, I need a list of internal and external issues. What do you think could be the main things that could impact your organization delivery as per the contract? What could be the top 2, top 3, top 5 problems? क्या ऐसा होगा, Rahul, that we will not be able to deliver to customer requirement?
The commitment might be failed due to the delivery issues or the production delay.
So why will there be production delay?
Unavailability of materials might be there. Machine return might be one of the reasons. The lack of the manpower.
Let us look at this entire value chain. We were saying first step is requirement collection. What if your requirement collection process is flawed?
There might be a possibility.
Correct.
So if I do, there may be some issues, some non-conformances. That's why my
तो पवन मैं शुरू से शुरू कर रहा हूँ. मैं कह रहा हूँ कि पवन की कंपनी ने अगर कस्टमर की रिक्वायरमेंट ही ठीक से नहीं समझी.
Properly understanding नहीं.
Correct. So if the requirement collection is not done well, if the design is flawed, if like you guys, when I am actually doing the activity, when I'm doing my production, I will need my raw material.
In the English.
So my raw material is not available,
बात है
or it is of poor quality, or it is delayed. बनाने का प्रॉमिस था कि 20th से अपन बना लेंगे, 20th तक माल ही नहीं आया पवन, क्या होगा? When you did not get the raw material on time, it will be delayed. When your resources are not
Yes,
available.
sir.
ISO 9001, while it focuses at the core process from collection to dispatch, there are a lot of quality management system requirements also. Like in your 4.1, in your 4.2, we are talking to you about the interested parties and their requirements. Again, same question to all of you. I am one of your vendors. What is my requirement? You have a factory. I am one of your vendors. I send you raw material. What do I need? What is my requirement? That you give me the correct requirement document. Stalin, if there is verbal order, if you've placed a verbal order, if you have placed unclear order, so my requirement is that you should give me details of the requirement that you have laid down. So that is what it asks you. There are a lot of statutory and regulatory bodies. What does the government want from you, Satish? What is the government's expectation from you, Stalin?
Meet the procurement vendor and the customer. So the requirement should be clear. Like if issuing the purchase order, that should on the criteria. Like
so I am a regulatory body. I am saying abide by the law of the land. Please follow the law. Please be responsible towards the society. No.
Yeah.
Legal material, legal documents.
So while the ISO 9001 framework is mostly around this value chain. So my question when I am auditing your firm, Pawan, I am mostly concerned about what did you commit to the customer? How did you deliver? This life cycle from the time you collected the requirement from the customer to the time you delivered, all the processes that have been involved, one of my focal audit points will be this life cycle. But then also there are a lot of other ISO documents like your 4.1 talking to you about internal external issues, 4.2 talking about interested parties. But please always realize all of this must always be connected to this life cycle. What internal external issues are we talking about? We are talking about those internal external issues that have the ability to hamper our delivery of product to the customer. Pawan, if there is a jam today, there is a hartal today in Madras, Chennai, we have a huge road blockage today. External issue, but if I have made some commitment to a customer that I will deliver him the things on time, I may not be able to do it. That's an external issue for me. Correct, everyone? The internal external issue has to be linked back to the life cycle that we are talking about. Requirement to the delivery as per the requirement. So always when you go into an organization, always first try and do your homework to understand this process. Every organization will do some amount of pre-sales. So I have a customer who attends a lot of seminars, no, expos they call it. They do a lot of expos in which they meet their buyer. That is the pre-sales for them. Through the pre-sales, they have created some leads for themselves. This lead will then be followed up by the sales processes. You will have to send someone is filling tenders, someone is filling some other documents. I am sending you proposals. Once this is done, you are then moving towards the sales administration processes. Now you have a business. Now Stalin says, please come and deliver this to me. I will have to hand it over to the correct team to be able to deliver those things. That is where a central planning team will be involved. Then your delivery gets involved. And obviously, when I want to deliver, I will need to purchase, I will do a lot of other things also. So all the ISO 9001 requirements, you have a 4.3, which is talking about the scope statement. You have a 4.4, which is talking about interaction of processes. You have a clause 5, which is talking about leadership and commitment. You need a quality policy, etc., etc., etc. So we are essentially looking at you ensuring that this life cycle, the one that I have marked in yellow right now, this life cycle is audited. I have a friend whose company has to be certified on ISO 27001 and 27701. If you guys are available, I can offer ISO 9001 also to him, and we as a team get to deliver ISO 9001 documentation. What do you guys say? Are you interested in doing a live work? Stalin, Pawan, Satish?
Yes, yes. We
Yes,
are interested.
we are interested.
So there's this gentleman. You tell me what time you are available so that we can meet sometime during the day, maybe half an hour, 1 hour every day, or 2 hours every day, and we can create the documentation for him. You guys have a ready ISO 9001 checklist, or do you want us to make one? Rahul, Satish?
If you make it, then make
We
it
need
clear
one.
for
We don't
everybody.
have.
Oh, I will send. After the session, I can send it to you right now, but I would rather want, Satish, that you and me build it together so that you understand, for the reason that tomorrow, Satish, you have to implement ISO 14,000. You know
Hmm.
exactly what to do. You know how to make the checklist.
Yes.
Tell me,
I have
what should we
time.
do?
When you are available, we can do it together. It will be beneficial for everybody.
Sure. Should we start right now?
Yeah, we can. I have time right now.
Everyone, please open your ISO 9001 standard. And open your Excel sheet. You may already understand that ISO 9001, in fact, all ISO standards start from 4. 1, 2, and 3 don't have any specific requirements from us.
Yeah.
I'm adding headers. I'm saying clause number, subclause. What does the standard say? Basis, what does the standard say? I will create audit points. These audit points will then yield us, when we are doing auditing, it will yield us some status. Every time you put a status, you'll have to mention comments. I want to understand who is going to be the auditee. I would want to mention what is the stage, what is the document needed if you are an implementation professional. I am going to clause number 4. Clause number 4 is context of the organization. I am copying this and pasting on my Excel sheet. Similarly, I will copy paste the name of the subclause also. 4.1, understanding the organization and its context. What is the standard saying? The organization shall determine external, internal issues. I'm copy pasting the statement. Now I will simply turn this into a question. What is it saying? The organization shall determine external and internal issues. Copy, paste, turn this into a question. Question is, has the organization? has the organization determined I will turn this into two questions. In first question, I will only cover the external issues. In the second question, second audit point, I will only cover internal issues. When we conduct audit, ideally, you will have certain outcomes. I could find conformity, I could find non-conformity, I could find partial conformity, I could find improvement opportunities, they call it OFIs, opportunity for improvement. I can find observation, I can find something as not applicable. I am old school. I will always want to use colors.
Yeah.
Conformity for me should mean green. I will add green color whenever I'm saying conforming. I will want to mention red color when I'm saying non-conforming. All the others should also be colored. Please do your own thing. Not necessary, but like I'm saying, I am from the older generation. So I would want with me so far, everyone.
Yeah.
Every time you have to write conforming or write conformity, you will need to put in a comment. So saw through document number, document named GUAV, internal, external issues. Found satisfactory mention of external issues.
इसको इतनी चिल में चले जाने की.
With me, everyone, so far? Ideally, the auditee of internal external issue register will be your QMS team. But I would not mind if you are saying that for internal external issues, I would want to audit all departments. I will want to see all departments identify and mention their internal external issues. Because this is a document, I am calling it stage 1 audit. And just in case you are implementing, what do we need? We need internal, external issue register. We are good so far, people?
Yeah.
Now let's go to 4.2. Again, copy paste the name Copy paste what the standard is saying. Turn this into a question. What is it reading? It says, due to its effect on potential effect on the organization's ability to consistently provide products and services that meet customer and statutory requirement, the organization shall determine interested parties relevant to the quality management system and the requirements of these interested parties. This is what it is demanding. So let us change this into a question. I'm saying has the organization determined this is my question number 1. Question number 2. Has the organization determined?
Yeah.
You can also add the last point. The organization shall monitor and review. So has the organization monitored and reviewed information, etc.
Yeah.
So my checklist for 2 points are ready. Rahul, Pawan, others, we are good so far?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
4.3, copy, paste. I have the name of the subclause. What does it need? It says the organization shall determine, where is it? The organization shall determine the boundaries and applicability of the quality management system to establish its scope. When determining the scope, the organization shall consider becomes auditable. So when you have a scope statement, you must reference that you have considered A, B, and C.
Mm.
It is written, the scope of the quality management system shall be available and be maintained as a DI. So what is your question, Satish? The question is the scope of the organization correct?
Determine as
Hello?
maintain available or
Pawan?
maintain as a
Hello,
quality
Pawan?
management system.
हेलो हाँ पवन
Yep.
स्टालिन बोल रहा हूँ हमको भी वो एक्सेल में फिल करने के लिए बोल रहा है क्या अरे मेरे पास ये
Yeah, better. Quality
So
of the
again,
management system.
you can do the same thing, copy paste the standard.
Yeah.